Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our world of darkness and another episode of Level by Level, the Blood Sorcery Rituals playlist. And today we are moving on from the level 1s to the level 2 rituals found in the Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition core book, and we are going to jump in with Communicate with Kindred Sire. This is an awfully important ritual for those of you who actually follow how Tremere is supposed to work, where to advance in blood sorcery and to learn rituals, they are meant to reach out and try to gain their masters, their creators, their sires' help in doing that sort of thing. It's not a standard discipline, so this is something that they need a little bit more help with. This is a good way to branch out and find some of those stranger rituals that are located in cults of the blood gods and things like that. The book states, the caster uses the bond between sire and child to open a bridge between minds, allowing the child to create a telepathic link for the purpose of long-distance communication. As with some other rituals, this one sees a resurgence in these nights of wiretaps and electronic surveillance. So yes, this is a very, very useful ritual when you stop and think about the fact that it's not going to be able to be picked up on your standard NSA surveillance systems. This is something that is coming back into use because telephones are now dangerous to the Kindred. Computers are now dangerous to the Kindred. This is safer. The ingredients to perform Communicate with Kindred Sire are an object previously possessed by the Sire and a silver bowl filled with water. I'm finding that the silver bowl seems to be very, very important to the Tremere and to Thaumaturge in general. In V5, and I love the fact that there are materials, tools that the Tremere use that pop up in various rituals, that it's not just a one-off. I have to have an entire storage unit just to keep my ritual stuff, because each ritual has individual things that are only used for that purpose. I like the fact that it's more common that there's going to be the tools of the witch used for blood sorcerers. The process states, the caster submerges the object in water and lets their blood drip into the bowl, concentrating upon the last memory of their sire for up to 30 minutes. So, this is a level 2 ritual, and it can take up to 30 minutes to perform. So this is not a 10-minute ritual, as it should be, because rituals are supposed to be 5 minutes times the level. The first level 2, and it's already taking 30 minutes. I don't have a problem with that. I just like to point out these things. I like to point out. The system states, make the ritual roll after 15 minutes have passed. A win allows 10 minutes of two-way silent mental communication once 15 more minutes have passed. A critical win allows immediate communication. Any major disturbance on either end will break the connection. So what this is actually saying is, you perform this ritual for 15 minutes. The 15-minute ritual is going to be at a difficulty of 3, because it's ritual level plus 1 for your difficulty. So after that 15 minutes, the first initial 15 minutes, you get to throw your test. After that is over, you know whether or not the connection is going to be matched, but it's going to take you 15 more minutes to get it. After which, those half an hour has now passed, you get 10 minutes of solid, uninterrupted communication, which can be broken at the slightest provocation. So this is one thing that you need to make sure that you're in a safe, contained place. I can imagine that it takes 15 minutes, because it takes 15 minutes to do the ritual, and then within 15 minutes your sire goes, I need to be excused, and goes and finds a nice quiet place to do that too. I do like the fact that that's a thing. If you get a crit, however, after that 15 minutes of performing the ritual at first, you get immediate lockdown communication with your sire, which means if they're wandering through some Elysium and a few towns over, they're suddenly in your head, and that can break the communication if something interrupts them. This is actually a ritual where you're not going to want to get a crit, because it might take longer, but there's a good chance your sire is not going to be able to hold on to the connection. I know I'm a mean storyteller, but that's actually how I would run it. Is if they tried it, it just wouldn't work that well. Anyway, so this ritual is very interesting. We used to have it in the older systems, and again, this is just a house rule that you could do this if you had any item for any kindred. So it was called communication with Kindred Sire because that's what it was created for. But you could use whatever item you wanted to contact any kindred, as long as you had an item that they once owned. Obviously, this ritual specifically describes the fact that it is using the connection between the blood bond between the sire and child, even if the blood bond's not in existence anymore. But it is using that bond of, I created you, my blood is in your system, that way you can contact me whenever you need me, as more of a background for the ritual than just being able to go, hey, I stole this dude's wallet, let's call him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, I'd like to know how you guys run this ritual, if you use it any different or if you just follow the book rules, and any time that this might have saved a character's life, because this very well can save a character's life if it's used properly, in the right situations, such as if they were kidnapped or something and for some reason still had a silver bowl and an item of their sire's own. I don't know. There's a lot of different needs for this ritual. I am Voivode Maquette. This is Our World of Darkness, and thank you for joining me in this level-by-level Blood Sorcery Rituals playlist, where we have just looked at Communicate with Kindred Sire. Good evening.